Hello everyone, I'm back in Oregon again, doing a solo trip. I haven't had one of these in a while, just never really had the time for it. I'll be doing 3 days and 2 nights along the John Day River. This time I'm going to be along the southern section of the river. Pretty remote section for this time of year. All the access roads are closed, at least I think until summer, or maybe they're closed year-round, I have no idea. So I'm going to be doing a fair bit of road walking down to the John Day River, and then yeah, just find a cool camp and explore the area. So without further ado, let's get going. Love hearing those meadow larks. Spring's basically here for the most part in Central Oregon, it feels like anyways. It is warm, nice. Now it looks like spring hasn't come quite yet to Mount Hood. Still plenty of snow. Really pretty view. Check out this really pretty, decent-sized juniper tree. I know this probably doesn't mean much to some people, but out west here is a very good sign that spring is here or on its way. When you start to get the natural green grasses coming back in. I'm not talking about like lawns and stuff. I'm talking about like out here when it's just pretty much brown all winter like this, and then the green starts popping around April and May, big time. It's my first view of the terrain I'm heading towards. It's been just pretty mellow rolling hills this road walk down so far. Bighorn sheep is quite a ways up there. Here's one last look up the canyon I just came down. had to have dropped at least 800 feet of elevation, so I'm gonna have to regain that on my way out. But it's pretty even grade. So yeah, let's go take a look at the John Day River. 30 Mile Creek, John Day River, conserved by Western Rivers Conservancy and the Bureau of Land Management. These lands are protected and open to all thanks to the Land and Water Conservation Fund. And there she is, the John Day River. Looks like there's some historic looking barn down there. This looks like the perfect tree to sit under and read a book. At least until the ants start crawling all over you. Alright, that's a pretty cool little barn. I think I'm gonna head southbound along John Day. Both directions, north and south, look really good. I think my decision right now is to just head south for today as far as I can. Or if I come across a spot that just kind of speaks to me, just kind of screams camp here. And then tomorrow I might just obviously, if I'm pretty far in, have to retrace my steps back to this point and might camp here. So when I get up on Monday, it's a straightforward canyon hike out. But plans can change, weather can change. So far it is really warm and beautiful. All the spring songbirds are out. This is pretty fantastic. So we'll just take things one day at a time, and for today we'll just go south. Alright, it seems like the road ends at this boat launch parking area. You can see the sign right there. And there seems to be a abandoned road kind of up here that's starting to overgrow, kind of like on our Lime Hill trip. So it's off trail and cross-country travel from here on out, heading southbound. Let's see what else we can find. The abandoned road isn't so much abandoned, just looks a little overgrown in the center, so might still be getting some use in the summer. I don't know. Huh, actually looks like there's a lower road along the river. That's pretty cool. This little valley up this way kind of reminds me of a wider version of the stuff you'll see in the Missouri Breaks area. Well, it looks like the road does end, but looks like a trail continues. I thought this would be a lot more off trail looking at it on the satellite map, but foot, horse, bike travel permitted. It's a really pretty side canyon up that way, but I'm gonna keep following the river as it kind of wrapped itself around this pretty significant cliff. You can see the road slash trail down there. Doesn't look as cliffy that way, but we'll see. Things could change quick. Yeah, this is looking back up that side canyon. This area seems like it has a lot of little nooks and crannies to explore, kind of like when we went to the Missouri Breaks in that one section, where one access point could open up the possibility for many future trips instead of like most early season places in this general area anyway, where once you go in once, you kind of seen it all. Yes, when I said it looked a lot less cliffy that way around the corner than got this behemoth. some rough guesstimation. I'm about, I think, 9 miles in. I'll do the actual math and put it in below, but yeah, this is just non-stop beauty. No one at the parking area. I haven't seen a single person or sign of anyone other than the fences, obviously. But it's really just lonely and gorgeous springtime territory, even though it's still technically winter. Spring comes a bit earlier to these places. I'm loving these juniper I'm loving these juniper trees. Really pretty, especially for shade, because it has to be like almost 60 degrees, and we've been having a cold winter in Montana, so 60 degrees kind of feels like 80. So I'm kind of cooking. Probably should have brought some sunscreen, but okay, that is a pretty significant and beautiful cliff face. So camping somewhere near that actually probably pretty awesome, with a view preferably. So let's see what we could find. Cool little amphitheater is revealing itself as I get closer to this fella. It's gonna be a pretty awesome spot to camp once I find a spot. Tons of flat spots back there, but it'd be cool to camp next to some of the junipers. Oh, this is some luck. View of the massive cliff face. Got pretty close access to water. It does look kind of brushy. I'll find a way down though. And I got a view of this red cliff over this way. I think this is going to be a home. Now before I do anything, with such a dry and hot day like this with the sun out, I'm going to just set the tent up, and I've got some treatment for it, which helps bead rainwater off. And these, when you have a tent, use it as much as mine, and it gets older, it starts to leak quite a bit. And treating it seems to do pretty good. It gives it like 3 more rainstorms, then you're gonna have to do it again. A lot of them claim like they'll treat it for like the rest of the season, or you'll be good for a few years once you spray it, but I've always found it'll last for like maybe 2 to 3 good rains max, and then it'll start leaking again. So unless they're talking about storing it after you do it in like perfect conditions, we don't really have that where we live in the renter life, but pretty much gets stuffed where it can. So let's treat this tent. This is the one-person tent that's seen some crazy action. It's been through the crazy storms on Glacier Peak Wilderness and the Wallowa Mountains, so hopefully it stays alive a bit longer. This tent has some cool history to it. You're wondering why I'm staking it down too. The directions say to get it as tight and spread out as possible. You'll see how good this stuff works. I'm using a new brand. A little messenger. We've got rain coming for Sunday night. It's Saturday right now. I'm hiking out on Monday, and this thing was leaking pretty good in October last year when I went to Utah to show my brother around the canyons there, and it rained on us pretty good, and this thing had quite a leak coming through the seams up top here. So I guess we're gonna find out how good this new brand is. There's this kiwi stuff. Ooh, S.C. Johnson. I guess they just kind of sponsor them, I don't know. I don't have high hopes. Here we go. It says give 24 to 48 hours to let it air out, so weather's gonna be good tonight. If it's too smelly to camp in, I guess I could just cowboy camp. I hope my work doesn't drug test me after this. Ooh. I don't think I'm gonna be sleeping on this tonight. Went back to get more water and walked further down and found this PFD. Doesn't have any name on it or anything. If you lost something, shoot me a message. Also looks like I have some reading material too. So I could read a book under a juniper tree, like I said earlier. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the next hour. Then I might go explore that canyon up that way. It's incredibly beautiful here. Alright, I did some of that reading and relaxed, and now I'm gonna go explore that canyon. Well, good morning. Got some clouds coming in. Forecast would say tonight it'll start raining a little. We'll see what happens. Heard a owl last night, great horned owl. That makes, with the 6 backpacking trips I've been on this year, 6 for 6 with hearing owls, and some of those trips heard multiple species of owls. So far, a pretty good year for hearing owls. Well, got camp all packed up. It's a bit cooler today, and I'm gonna just start retracing my steps back to that homestead area. Probably find a spot to camp there, maybe up on a bench or something. And yeah, not gonna go too hard today, just gonna have a nice relaxing walk and listen to some of the wildlife. Hopefully I could get some on video. So here we go. This canyon looks a bit more depressing now that the sunlight isn't hitting it. It doesn't show off that bright, brilliant orange colors we were getting the other day. Just kind of looks like a dull brown everywhere. Well, if I'm reading the map right, there's a little pass right there that goes into an upper meadow. I should be able to cut through there to the homestead, or maybe just camp in that open meadow and just listen to the meadowlarks the rest of the day and just explore on foot. But either way, I'm gonna go give that a shot instead of completely retracing my steps. So here goes nothing. Well, I made it up to the pass. Looks like there's massive, beautiful open meadow down there. Tons of meadowlarks. So we have to have a mission to get water up to camp though. Be able to explore a lot without my pack later today. Another time I like to revisit too is I like to hike northbound on the other side of the creek. Not gonna do that this time because of the rain coming and it's prone to flash flooding. I'd have to cross that stream and it could go up in water level in a flash flood and stuff and make it uncrossable, and that'd just be a nightmare I just don't want to deal with. I'm on the side of the creek right now. That'll get me back to my vehicle if the weather gets bad, so that's what I'm sticking with. Now I'm down here, that looks kind of cool. I'm actually gonna hike up there. If there's any flat spot there, I'm gonna camp there. If not, I'm coming back to this spot. Up on that mound, it's a little flat. There's a lot of little yellow things up here. They're really thorny. That was a river camp. It's really cool. It'd be cool to be by the river again, I guess, now that I'm up here. It sounded better in my head back that way, be like, oh, cool to camp here, than the thought of hiking half a mile. Pretty much I'd have to walk all the way down there to get water and walk it back, and not the end of the world, but not looking to make stuff hard on myself. Be also cool to hear some red-winged blackbirds, I guess, too, so changing my mind again, I'm gonna drop down, find myself a river camp, preferably somewhere along where the creek joins in, because there's a lot of red-winged blackbirds over there, and that combined with the sounds of the meadowlarks might make for a relaxing evening. I think I'm gonna camp near this flat patch by this boat launch. So I walk a little bit off to the right. There's the creek flowing into the John Day, and there's a lot of red-winged blackbirds hanging out around there. And the views are pretty fantastic from here. So I think I'll set up camp here and call this home for the night and just relax the rest of the evening. Fantastic little area. I guess if that is rain, and if it does eventually come this way, I'll give an intent review whether it's leaking or not tonight. So cross your fingers, hope it doesn't leak on me.